Maybe move that box a little bit this way. I don't know if it makes much difference, but
Okay, hello everyone. This is a very special edition of our weekly meeting. With me today, I have the entire DevRel team. So,
hey,
hello
buddy.
everyone. And to kick it off, I'll hand it over to Nicole.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with the entire DevRel team. We are in San Francisco having a DevRel offsite and talking about all the really cool, fun stuff we have planned for this year. And so we thought, while we're here all together, we should, get together on this call and say hi to everybody, introduce ourselves probably, and talk about a couple of things we really loved last year and some of the things we're excited about this year. So I'm really excited to be here, and I'm excited to have everybody here with us. Let me see. I guess I'll kick it off. So, hi everyone. I am Nicole. I am the manager of the DevRel team. I've been here for almost 2 years at SDF. And I guess let me start with what I loved about last year. And then I'm going to go around and let everybody else introduce themselves. But last year, 2 highlights for me were Protocol 20, Sorbonne. Sorry, nobody else can take that. And Meridian, Hack Meridian were really, really awesome. It was really cool and fun to just be there and see builders and see all the amazing projects that came out over 24 hours, and it was really awesome. So I'm going to go this way to Elliot.
Hello, everybody. I'm Elliot. I'm your friend. I'm so excited just to be a part. I've been around Stellar for a long, long time, and I still just feel so lucky that I get to do this for work, and it's amazing. One of the things that there's what we are excited to do also.
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, not yet.
Stay tuned.
They're saying it's frozen.
Oh no,
Video dead for me.
we're frozen.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah, the frame rate looks kind of janky.
Can you hear us?
Weird.
Okay, they said we're back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Nice.
They are PS
Yeah.
monitor.
Yeah. I'll just do this the whole time. Okay, so they did see me waving.
All right. That's good.
Video's pixelated.
Oh, they want to zoom in. I don't know how to do that.
We can do that.
Enhance.
We can do it on this.
Control camera. Frame people. We're experimenting
They
live.
really
Yeah,
want
we're
us to zoom
visiting
in.
this office.
They want us to zoom in really bad.
Hey, you don't know how these cameras work.
Real tight on Tyler. Though.
Yeah. Hey, everybody.
All
I think
right.
it'll move to whoever's talking if you just let it do its thing.
All right. Let me frame people.
Okay. Elliot, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Bree Wild. I'm a writer on the DevRel team. I've been around for 3 years, and I love it here very much. I know Nicole took the Sorbonne launching, which is a very exciting thing. But so one thing that we did last year that was, it's not very glamorous or fun, but Elliot and I worked a lot on bringing the Sorbonne documentation to the Stellar documentation site. So lots of docs work, and then making sure everything is updated in the documentation for Sorbonne being on Stellar. And something that I really, really enjoyed is kale. So if you all are not farming kale, you should be. And yeah, that's probably like one of the most fun things that we've done.
She's just saying that because she's on the leaderboard.
I am number 10 on the leaderboard. So,
Docs are addressed.
so that's it for me. So.
Ooh.
Hey everyone, I am Chris Anatolio. Last year I escaped the Ethereum EVM ecosystem and joined Stellar in July. And yeah, definitely not looking back. I am biased, but the community here is like way more authentic, way more legit. If you go to like most Solana or Ethereum discords, people are asking when Moon, people are asking when airdrop, you know. But in the Stellar ecosystem, people are like really helping each other. People are building real things. People are just really excited about like actually authentically, you know, building on the ecosystem. So that's a really awesome change for me. I guess like last year, I think one of the things was like putting Stellar back like on the map, you know. We had big presence at a lot of major events like DevCon, and people are talking about Stellar, and yeah, we were getting a lot of exposure on the like in media, in the crypto Twitter sphere. Yeah, just seeing lots of great activity around Stellar. You know, for instance, we actually just fixed FAOOC. It is working again. We're actually at the DevRel offsite right now talking about when FAOOC 2.0. We will let you know soon. But yeah, just thank you all for being a part of the community. And yeah.
Yeah, my name is Karsten. I'm a developer advocate in the DevWorld team, and I joined in July last year. And I would say the one reason I joined was Sorbonne, but at least that was why I got super interested in Stellar. I think adding smart contracts just made a huge difference for me. It was all of a sudden a really interesting chain. You could build whatever you wanted. The sky was the limit. So I thought that was a really interesting time to join. I love to see what developers are building. I love to help them in any way I can. Meridian was super exciting last year, getting to meet a lot of the developers. Yeah, lots of interesting talks. It was a super great experience to network with a lot of the builders on Stellar and Sorbonne. Yeah, Tyler.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tyler. I'm also a developer advocate here. I've been here for 5 years. Last year, a highlight for me was kind of, well, we knew pretty early on that we wanted to add the SEC-P256R1 signing curve, which doesn't mean anything to really anybody unless you maybe are a little bit more technical and understand like that's what the signing curve that's used for passkeys. But taking that like journey of super technical all the way through to now you can sign transactions with your face or your fingerprint, and having to build all the technology to facilitate that happening, that was a huge highlight for me. I have a long history on trying to give people XLM, and it's very hard to do without having to go through a whole long process of KYC and collecting tax stocks. And like, I just want to give away XLM and let people play games. And LaunchTube is a huge, I mean, it kind of killed two birds. Well, we don't kill birds. What do we say? Fed two birds with one seed. Where we can, with a LaunchTube token, I can give away a LaunchTube token without having to do any KYC, not having to do any tax stock collection, and allows developers to submit transactions on mainnet using the XLM that's held within that LaunchTube token, because they can't go and farm those XLM out of that LaunchTube token and take it and do nefarious things, which is why we have to do KYC and collect tax stocks. And that is awesome. But then also there's the problem of when you actually want to do something on mainnet, yeah, you got to like source XLM to pay those fees. And it's like doing stuff on Stellar is really cheap, but you still need to have that XLM. So it doesn't really matter how cheap it is if you have to like create a Coinbase account or a Binance account and figure out a way to like connect your bank, and then you got to wait. And that journey from I want to go to mainnet to actually being able to do that is pretty tricky until you introduce something like LaunchTube, which basically lets you get transactions on chain for free. And it handles all of the coordination of paying the fee, simulating the transaction. Super, super neat service. I was really excited to get that online last year. And it's kind of been something that I've been trying to press and work towards for a long time. So those are definitely two big highlights for me from last year.
Awesome. All right. What about this year? I get to go first, which means I get to take the best ones. But no, so this year we have a ton of, plans and ideas, and we're going to share them as like they develop. But I think like for me, as we're at this offsite, as we're thinking, as we're making some of those plans, I'm really, really excited that like this is the first year, obviously, that we're starting off with smart contracts on Stellar. Like obviously we had all of last year, but like we can hit the ground running this year with smart contracts. And there's a lot of really, really fun stuff I think we can do and that we want to do and that we're planning to do. And I think I am going to share my screen because that we're looking for, that we're going to. Can you hear us?
Audio back. Mic check.
Sound
Test.
back.
All right. So
Okay.
it's all right. Stop talking. Confirmed. Can you hear me? All right. Let's just keep it here. We'll share that link.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yes, his audio goes when we screen share.
Weird.
Yeah. Okay.
Big takeaway. More monthly active devs coming in, sticking around. That is one of our big numbers.
Number go up.
And I think it's really exciting. So number one, Tyler, number two.
Yeah, the other number that we're trying to press up to the roof is daily contract invocations. I think I can share a link since I'm not going to be able to maybe screen share.
Yeah, we can't do two screen shares.
Is that one right there? So there's a Dune Analytics. This is the number. This is the graph that I'm most interested this next year, is pushing this daily contract invocations up. I want to see Sorbonne be very active. There's a lot of different ways to do that. There's a lot of reasons that you may want that to happen. But the technology is awesome. And if you're looking at that graph, you can kind of see that it hasn't been used a whole lot. I mean, we're hitting an average maybe before November of about 2,000 or so invocations per day, which isn't terrible, but it's certainly, there's a lot of room to grow there. And then you can see this massive spike that happens in November, December. And so that triggers off when Enrique launched his FCM proof of work contract that I think was one of the first like fun things, goofy things to do on Sorbonne that to me really pointed to this hunch of if you introduce some fun things to do on chain, so not just the serious grown-up blockchain things, but just fun things to do, goofy things with stories and lore and whatnot, that you can actually get a lot of activity. And so I also built a proof of work asset that addressed some of FCM's, just had a different philosophy of how to grow and introduce people to the platform. And that's where these numbers really start to take off, where you have a miner that you could use the CLI for. That's kind of that first hump. and then I introduce the website for farming kale, and it just kind of goes through the roof. You can see it's starting to taper off now. These fun activations often have a pretty short life cycle where they spike up, people have fun, and then they're ready for the next thing. I've likened it to kind of like going on vacation or going to a water park. Like, you're not going to stay there for the rest of your life. You're going to go there, you're going to have fun, and then you're going to be done, and you're going to go home, and then you'll do something fun another day. That's certainly kind of things that I like to work on, or flashes in the pan, lightning in a bottle. You work on something that's fun, see what works, what doesn't, and you iterate, work on something else. So I definitely am working on my next big idea to try and keep pushing these numbers up. And kind of my challenge to the developer ecosystem is to also think of fun things to do on chain and make 2025 a year where we're really trying to push up these daily contract invocations, which make the chain look very active and engaged. So when you combine those two things of monthly active devs and daily contract invocations, those are really good numbers. Those are numbers that will attract more and more attention. Activity begets more attention and activity. So combining those two things together, I think, will help us win over other chains that maybe when you start to dig into the ecosystem a little bit more and you do want to begin to do more serious things, it's quite hard to do because those relationships haven't been built with traditional Web 2 technology or traditional finance. We've solved that problem, but we need to solve the attraction, developer attention, and just getting developers to build stuff on chain. So there's lots of great things you can do, and now we just need to bring the attention, build the water park, as it were. One little fun side thing, I can't share my screen, so I can't share that one, but I think it is really fascinating. On this particular graph, it says that almost 1.5 total smart contract invocations, 43% of those came from LaunchTube. So almost half of all of our smart contract invocations went through LaunchTube, which to me, again, is pointing to this idea that when you make it really easy for people to submit transactions on chain without having to fiddle with XLM, that combined with the smart wallets where you don't have to download anything, this 24-word passphrase and all this nonsense, and you can just click a button and you're on, you get a lot of traction. You get a lot of users. Like, Kale has only been around for a while. It's also like, what are we supposed to do with this game? Like, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but people love to play it. Make something that's maybe a little bit more interesting. This number will just continue to go up and up and up because we have these tools like the Passkey Kit, the smart wallets, and LaunchTube. We're getting on chain, and doing something on chain is very easy for users. So now that we have those tools in place, it's time to build. So we just need to build fun things.
Sweet, awesome. So monthly active devs, invocations per day. Those are our two main goals as a team. Again, I'm really excited about the fact that we can hit the ground running in this like new and exciting way, and that we've got all these resources, these tools that Tyler's built that we can like extrapolate out from, build upon as a team and as an ecosystem in general. What is everybody else excited about?
So a lot of developers tend to have brilliant and creative ideas, and my strategy is to wait for them to do that and then snatch it. So Tyler's done a lot of really cool stuff, or a lot of really amazing tools and projects, and just really creative and innovative things. And my plan very soon is to try and break some of those things. I'm going to build some projects on, not like on his. I'm going to break my own. Duplicate or modify or build on top of the things that he's building, like a Kale marketplace where you can exchange different produces, maybe depending on how much you're willing to stake, different invokers, contracts for that kind of stuff, and just generally having fun messing around with the things that he built and trying to show other people how they can do it too.
Sweet. Awesome. That's one.
I can go next.
Oh, Carson, go ahead.
Because I'm actually going to talk a little bit to what Elliot said and what Tyler said, because I think for Elliot to become successful in building things based on LaunchTube, passkeys and all these things. Just like any other developer, I'm sure he would appreciate a lot of good documentation showing how to use all these great tools. And that's something that I'm excited about, taking some of the really cool ideas and cool projects. Passkey is a game changer in my opinion, but we need to make it accessible. We need to make it easy for developers to adopt that. Also Elliot, so it's easier for him to do all his fun projects. He can just go and read the documentation. So that's actually something I'm really excited about, getting these technologies more accessible for developers, make it easier, make their adoption time faster. We need to get these brilliant ideas out there and have them used by developers. This should not just end up in a repo somewhere. They need to get out and get to work. So that's what I'm excited about, that I can take some of the ideas that Tyler has and some of the projects he's built and document that and show developers how they can do something similar. And hopefully that will inspire them to build something different, but maybe based on some of these ideas. So yeah, I just felt it was kind of a little bit natural to jump in here.
Perfect.
Cool. Yeah, so I'll go next. Yeah, so yeah, I feel like the elephant in the room for all of Web3 has always been self-custody as a non-starter for most users. It's too complex, you know. And honestly, passwords aren't secure. You know, the number one password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, so passkeys are a game changer. You know, and all the major companies are using it, are implementing passkeys. You know, GitHub, Google. You know, so once you lower this this onboarding friction, people are going to start coming into it, you know. And once you lower the development friction, people are going to start building, you know. So with Passkeys Kit, with LaunchTube, with all these amazing tools that are facilitating and enabling developers to build, it's going to unleash the floodgates. And what's going to come through those floodgates? I think it's going to be a lot of DeFi protocols, you know. Like some people say TVL is kind of a vanity metric, but honestly, I think in Web3, DeFi is going to enable whole new business models, right? For instance, in Web2, the only two ways you monetize are ads and e-commerce. So like once you have DeFi, as a foundation, you enable all of these new amazing use cases on Stellar. And that's really what it's all about, you know, is just like unleashing the creativity of the developer workforce, and just seeing what you guys build, you know. I'm just like super excited to see like what new things, new models, new paradigms people built on DeFi, built on chain, just totally changing the game, you know. Because Stellar has you know a lot going for it. It's super fast, it's super cheap, and it's where blockchain meets the real world. Our on and off ramp ecosystem is, you know, way better than any other chain. So like, yeah, I'm just super excited to see what people build. I can't wait once we put these tools in your hands and you guys build some magic.
Woo.
Yay!
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Excitement.
I'm
Feeling.
excited for Bree.
A lot of things. I guess I'm really excited to bring, just like I'm a writer, so bringing awareness to all the really cool things that all of these amazing people are building in this room, and also the ecosystem as well. I did write a piece on Blend recently that was really fun. So talking about projects and how projects are working together and putting together blog pieces to kind of bring awareness to the really cool things that are being done is what I'm really excited about. And hopefully continuing the Kale lore, because I'm obsessed with Kale and I just want to write more lore. So yeah.
Tyler, I think you already said what you were excited about, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see the daily invocations go up. I really want to see.
Go up.
I want to see a passkey, a smart wallet get like an actual interface get audited, like we're using them on mainnet and we're holding Kale in them. But I want to see one of these actually get audited and get much wider use. I want to see a lot of fun things to do on chain that are orbiting around these passkey wallets, where there's an ecosystem that kind of grows up that knows, has built some standards around how to interoperate between websites. Like passkeys are not terribly intuitive to figure out how to share them. So we'll need some coordination and standards. But I think, 2025 is the year the G address dies and the C address reigns supreme. It's not everyone agrees with me, but they're wrong because the G address is going to take over the world. And I'm here for it.
All right. Well, that's prediction. So, all right. Another thing we thought we might do, just as a team in the same room, is, we are very, very close. I think we're like a month and a couple days from the anniversary of Sorbonne on mainnet. And so we thought we would, either share a favorite story from the last year, cool development, projects that were awesome that we saw come into the ecosystem. Who would like to start? I won't take the first one. So
whoever submitted that first transaction on mainnet, that was so fun and smart of them to do that.
I wonder who that was.
I just thought that was amazing. I mean, within literal seconds that it closed, it's like they really worked hard to prepare for that moment, for that to happen, and had waited for many, many years for smart contracts. So I don't know, who that was, but kudos to them for working and doing that and putting a little poem on chain as the first transaction.
It's funny because Tyler really likes to be first. Really, really likes it.
In case you guys
Yeah, in case you didn't know. Sometimes he's not first though, and it's really fun. That is like the most fun when he comes in second,
Yeah, okay. Sure.
Continue, please.
Yes. What will we share? Oh, favorite memories. The other thing that I think was really cool was Blend launching, because I'd followed their story so closely since way back when we were doing turrets. And we were using JavaScript VMs as like an L2 to try and figure out a way to do smart things on Stellar. And so following their journey from really when I first joined as a contractor at SDF way back, when they had found Stellar and were trying to figure out how to do some of their advanced stuff, they were still like in college and super smart, but trying to like figure out how to do what they wanted to do on Stellar, and then working through with the turret smart contract protocol, and then actually building a smart contract protocol and convincing the network that we needed it and that we should build it, and then working through to actually see that go onto mainnet, and then seeing Blend launch on mainnet and people actually using it, and now there's TVL there. That narrative, kind of seeing that come all the way full circle and go live after just years and years and years of watching that team and working with that team, that was a really cool moment for me.
Awesome. Everyone else? Stories, favorites from last year. 1 year of Sorbonne main.
I think something that I think has been a really good experience is that we have worked with an incubator in collaboration with Stellar Community Fund and PragerU, and a couple of us have been a mentor for some of these teams, and see them come in, some of them not having any experience writing smart contracts. They had an idea, they had something that they thought they could build, and in a matter of, in some cases, days, but in a couple of weeks, some of them have the first smart contracts up and running. They are building, they're really enthusiastic. And I think when you consider that Sorbonne is not even 1 year old, that we had the tooling, we had the documentation, we had sample code. I think we can't give the team that worked on Sorbonne enough credit for that. I think in a lot of other cases, it takes years to build out documentation, sample code, have a support system and being able to really do something substantial. And I think I came in later, so I can't take any credit for that. But I just think it's amazing to see developers get up and running, writing smart contracts, deploying their contracts to testnet and to mainnet within a few days after the first time they ever get to know about Sorbonne. So I think that's a really cool thing, and I think I have a lot of appreciation for all the work that went into that up to the launch of Sorbonne.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think a big narrative for last year was the on-chain effect. So having narratives, if you're not familiar with the story, basically there's an entrepreneur who was in San Francisco, Colombia, that was able to extend the opportunity to be a remote personal assistant to people that live in a cash-only village. And they were able to basically hold their savings in stable coins on Stellar and get money out through MoneyGram via our integration in their local currency. And then that was like a narrative that I saw like repeated on on LinkedIn, on Twitter by non-Web3 people. I saw people on Web2, in traditional tech, even non-tech people like echoing the story that just makes sense to normal people. It's like, it's a story you can tell grandma to, you can tell to grandma over the Thanksgiving table that she'll understand. So like seeing a narrative, a story that actually resonates with like non-crypto people, it like shows a real use case. Like this is what you can do on chain. That was an amazing story, and it was only possible on Stellar. That was one of the big highlights for me last year, was just seeing the real potential of crypto other than meme coins, other than pub.fun. Not that there's anything wrong with meme coins. Fun is fun. People love fun, but
Okay, I guess like one thing that's been really fun, as I've just like been able to write about Sorbonne, is kind of why Sorbonne's developers have made certain decisions, such as like state expiration and how metering works for fees and that sort of thing, and just kind of how the platform is being built for sustainability, and learning from the experiences of like other networks has been really, really cool to learn about, and gives me a lot of faith. And I just really think that that the developers are amazing that have built the platform, and making these kind of hard decisions and talking about it has been really fun and interesting to see, and also really fun and interesting to write about. So
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I feel like I'm just going to echo what everybody else is saying, but like, I feel like there were moments of kind of crystallization of these things, like Hack Meridian. Everybody who was there sat in that room and didn't sleep and made stuff that was really, really awesome overnight. And I just think it was really awesome to see. We had a lot of the team present on passkeys and kind of run through workshops, and then have Tyler's passkey kit, and have a lot of these teams kind of take that and build things like by the next day, and that was really awesome. And so as far as being a Sorbonne narrative, that was pretty cool.
So one of the things I've had my hand in over the last year is trying to get Stellar's representation on places like DeFi Llama and CoinGecko like more prominent and more reflective of what actually is happening on the network. And if you look at like our TVL, perhaps a vanity metric, perhaps not, but it shows like at least the utilization to some degree of what people are putting onto the network. If you look at DeFi Llama's TVL, Sorbonne went mainnet on February 20th. And at that time, our TVL was like right around 8 million or so. And a week later, it doubles like overnight to 16, 17 million. And now we're like at 60 million, just like obviously, smart contracts are something that the community was hungry for. And we listened and we did the thing. And like, surprisingly, people are using it. Oh my gosh, they said they wanted to use it and they're going to actually use it. Who knew? It's just so exciting to see it, like all the work that we put into it, validated and actually going to like use cases, going to do things that people are going to take advantage of and use.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's awesome.
And like when we say we too, it's like the entire
Yes.
ecosystem, you know, like, I mean, but so crucially, it's awesome. All right. We had a question about ETH Denver. I don't want to scoop anybody, so this isn't going to be an announcement, but there will be something really fun at ETH Denver this year, is what I will say. And I think somebody did share the link.
It may involve cards.
There was
May involve chips.
yeah, poker game was shared on the Build on Stellar Twitter. I don't know how to interpret risk level shark infested. I don't know, but details dropping soon. So stay tuned. We are not going to scoop anybody right now.
Are the sharks going to have lasers? Stay tuned. We're not sure yet.
And yeah, I mean, I think we can maybe take some questions from chat if there are questions, other questions, or comments or things that people are thinking about, or things that you want to see, or things that you want to do in the ecosystem. Let us know.
Or if you need an address to send all your tokens to.
Oh, the dogs bounties.
Docs bounty.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, well, I guess like what does everybody think about Dev Docs bounties? Bree is going on a very committed maybe.
That's a strong we'll have to see.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, I loved running the docs bounty. It was good. It's yeah, it's a good way to get documentation and to get community and ecosystem involvement.
Yeah.
So,
Which are all wonderful things,
Yeah.
but there is much overhead for administering a program like that.
What will Tyler tinker with next?
yeah, that's a good question.
After passkeys aren't the hot thing anymore, are they gonna?
Passkeys are always good.
Yeah.
No, that's not good.
The passkey, yeah. a passkey's
Ever heard
a
of
feature.
AI agents? I might be tinkering with that. I like AI a lot, and I did a coding with Kale project that just talked about this.
Anything but AI.
Might be working on AI agents.
Yeah, anything but AI agents.
Yep. Sorry, Matthias.
Why, Tyler?
Why am I going
Yeah.
to work on AI? Because Matthias doesn't want me to.
Right.
I have a life mission. AI agents, because I really like the idea of making bots that can do things for me so that I don't have to. This particularly with like Blend. Here's my my use case for what I'm trying to pursue. I like Blend a lot. I really don't like claiming my emissions or rebalancing between the different pools. So I want to build a bot that will handle all of that for me by reading inbound transactions, or like reading the current state of all the pools, reading the current state of my balances in the emissions pools, seeing if it's time to try and move between different pools. But I don't want to have to like manually do any of that, and so I want to build an AI agent that can handle all that for me. So when you combine things like the smart wallets with the policy signers and AI agents, I think you can pretty easily build some tools that are, in this case, custom built to Blend, but would be pretty easy to customize for a bunch of different contracts. You can think of, I don't know, Kale or whatever, where you could chat with it, or you could just send it into some sort of cron job where the prompts are data that's being fed in. So an AI prompt doesn't have to be like written English. It can be like JSON files, or if you've got a parser, right, it could be XDR, it could be a meta from a transaction that could then feed into some sort of outcome, like rebalancing or filling orders. I mean, there's so many interesting things that could happen when you combine these smart wallets, which now you don't have to like have a human involved in signing things with policy signers, so you don't have to worry about giving too much permission to some third-party service. You can very tightly bound what they're allowed to do, only claim emissions, only for me, only on the blend protocol, only for a certain amount of money in a certain period of time. Give that to an AI agent that can then interpret those rules, know its limitations, and start to act on those rules for the benefit of the user. That type of stuff's really interesting to me. It's a lot of experimentation, but that's definitely something I'm interested in working on. And then just more Kale type of games. So I've got one of those that I'm working on right now. Hopefully it'll be here sometime in quarter 1. But we'll see.
You have another question.
What's next for Kale?
How do you feel about?
Well, apparently, according to Stellar Expert, if you hold just the tiniest amount of kale, you're a billionaire. So you could show her that.
Look at all the
Good
money.
luck.
Look at all the money we've made. I'm still waiting for someone to actually start market making between like FCM and kale, or to create a whole separate farmers market. I really want someone to make a farmers market because that's so funny. Because we have like DEXs and market makers and AMMs and all of these things. Like, what's the most fundamental base market you could have from the dawn of time? Like a farmer's market where I can sell my kale for chickens, or other vegetables, or coffee, or someone's beadwork. It's just asking to be turned into some sort of farmer's market game. So
Well,
somebody should do that.
and then your imagination can run wild, because we've also, we've been throwing around ideas that would be really cool to see. Like, we have a marketplace, we have a farmer's market. Could you pick up ingredients for, a really nice soup, or I don't know,
The best kind of soup, virtual soup.
Yeah, exactly. Kale soup, yeah, I've been trying to convince Tyler that like leaf kale, like real kale, is delicious.
Kale is a disgusting vegetable, and only for digital representation for farming and computing.
Kale
yeah.
future contract.
Somebody should make a marketplace, and somebody should make recipes for kale and other vegetables.
Kale soup stand. Imagine how yummy that would be. Kale
Yeah,
soup.
I think also building all that like marketplace, it's a lot of fun. It's fun to play with, but if we break it down, we could actually spin off a lot of cool sample projects to show how this is built, and I think there's a lot of educational value in doing something like this. It sounds super fun, and it's like we're just having a good time here, but there's actually a lot of learning that goes into building something like that we can pass on to the community. So I think even though it sounds like fun and crazy ideas, there's a lot of learning in it, and there's a lot of knowledge to be extracted from that. And I think that's going to be one of our big jobs here in 2025, is to take all these fun ideas and actually turn it into a knowledge and educational content. So it's not just fun, all of it. There's a meaning to all this. And we have talked a lot about doing fun stuff, doing fun games, doing fun and educational stuff, and it's learning should be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great point. Like the Kale contract along with the FCM contract, like there's actually a lot of really good learnings in there. I mean, I spent a lot of time when I was writing that contract to make it really efficient. So there are a lot of like very technical decisions that I made in order to keep the cost of using Kale low, so that it wouldn't overwhelm the network and drive up the cost of a lot of stuff. But it could be this thing that could scale, could get a lot of traction, but wouldn't affect the bottom line of the network too much. So there's actually a lot of stuff in there that could be really useful for anybody building contracts to employ into maybe more serious use cases. It's good thing to note.
Yeah. Other questions? Collaborations with other community nonprofits or DAOs.
I don't know. I feel like it would maybe be a little bit more on the ecosystem growth side.
Yeah. Yeah, we did partner with Funding the Commons, which is a big DAO for public goods. Yeah, but definitely more of an Anka question. But yeah, there are future plans. Yeah.
Any other questions or ideas, by the way?
Yeah. Any
Like-
spicy question.
What other fun?
Not too
No,
medium.
Yeah,
Not jalapeno.
Yeah.
Wait, that's not a hot pepper.
like green
Yeah.
pepper,
Green pepper level
green bell
spice.
pepper.
The mildest kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chill.
Just a hail question,
Yeah.
okay? Not even pepper.
Stop for the hot take speed round.
I think I gave mine.
Yeah.
G addresses Adios Amigos. It's the year of the C address.
Who's J-Ro? Since Ralph.
J-Ro.
Yeah, we're all growing in 2025.
Nicole,
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
see, we can't answer anything. It's so boring.
Yeah.
Next question.
What did these guys say?
That is a
I
great
told you
question.
guys, don't ask for
Yeah.
questions.
One more question. Where's
The alpha.
the
Oh,
alpha?
oh, you want some alpha? Oh.
Stay tuned. Come on, I already dropped that. We're going to be working
Yeah.
on another fun game.
Yeah.
I think they're working on Docs V3 Merc.
Oh my gosh, no.
We're gonna delete the docs. Everything's gonna be AI generated. There's gonna be this automated person that talks to you and answers all your questions all live. That would be wild though. Like you go to a doc site, this is a person that like talks to you and answers your questions. Hi, my name is what's that? Iron Man? The Iron Man character that Jarvis.
Jarvis. Oh, yeah.
Hi, I'm Jarvis. How can I help you build Sorbonne contracts?
This is one for the year of the C address. Could it be helpful for contracts to interact with the decks?
It could be helpful. I don't know what the team is thinking about, like the G to C compatibility question of
Groupie.
how do those things interact. There's lots of debate between the current ecosystem with G addresses and the new growing ecosystem with C addresses. It's a good question, but I don't think there's a whole lot of answers here yet until we start to see how the ecosystem adapts to smart wallets, policy signers, DeFi, where the liquidity goes, how different markets pop up that maybe either take the place of the DEX or move faster than the DEX. There's definitely a lot of like you've got Tomer on one side saying we're going to remove the DEX. You've got people on the other side saying the DEX is the best and will never go away. So lots of outstanding questions and ideas, and you can't just remove stuff. There has to be better things to put in its place, and that just takes time to develop and do the research for, and see who your partners will be who would implement those things and can help with the design and the implementation and the use cases and the wallets. So it's never been a better time to build, but there's also a lot of outstanding questions for what the future actually looks like.
Questions about the future.
Where is Meridian going to be?
Next.
Yeah, next
Yeah,
question.
what team do you think we're on? Like, no, that's not our team.
Well, I don't know. There's one more question. SpeedX.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the status on that. I know they're still talking about SpeedX types of technology, but I'm not sure where they currently are. It's not where I spend my time, so I'm not sure.
There's still research happening towards it, I think.
I do know that, I don't think it's SpeedX related, but there are some caps that they've got open for like the next upcoming protocol releases. And I think they're planning on doing some of those meetings on Discord. So I'm not sure if it'll be on stream to Twitch as well, but keep an eye out for some of those. It's a great place to kind of see where the core team is thinking about some of these types of questions of where are we going to go next? What updates do we need? What's coming next for Stellar?
One of my favorite Meridian highlights, to answer Robert's question, was watching Tyler's passkey presentation as he talked to his pre-recording self and said, "Why, thank you, Tyler," in his beautiful podcaster voice as he presented between his live demo and his.
I got a lot of comments about that. I don't feel like many of them. They were like this underhanded, like, "Oh, that was
That's an interesting choice.
sweet of you to pre-record everything." Yeah. Maybe we'll try to do it live, and then the internet will crap out, and everyone will just be sitting there watching me fumble, and then we'll see who's laughing.
A dev meeting back on YouTube.
Wait, do we do dev meetings on YouTube? Oh, like putting them up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. We have actually started uploading it. There's a playlist on the Stellar YouTube channel. There's a playlist for these dev meetings, and this one will come up shortly too.
So yes, 2025 year of dev meeting on YouTube. Woo!
There's their health.
Oh yeah, the playlist is up right now, but we are going to stream it. That's the plan, to stream it both on Twitch and YouTube at the same time.
There you go.
Cool.
All right. Well, thanks everyone.
Oh, best way to reach the core team. GitHub discussions, Google group, or something else.
Show up at the SF office, knock on the door.
DM Tyler. DM Kale Pill.
No, that will not work.
They're in Discord, right?
Yeah, a lot of them are in
Yeah.
Discord.
Yeah.
And again, you don't take the route that everybody else takes. It's talking in Discord and asking specific questions. Being clear, I can always get the attention that you might want. All right,
Cool.
Yeah.
coming to you live from the Oris. It's the Never team.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
We'll see you all around.
Bye. Bye.